Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Drew Scheid about the Fear Street Trilogy on Netflix and some other things as well. Mare of Easttown, HBO as well. Drew, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you so much for having me on. I was trying to say Peter and Popternative at the same time.
Absolutely.
No one ever call it Pete-ternative?
Man, it's funny because we do a lot of hockey stuff as well. It's like, dude, we call it Puckternative. It's like all these new brands, right? Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Street-ternative?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fear Street-ternative this month?
Absolutely. East-ternative, Mare of Easttown ternative. So many alternatives. Welcome to the show. It's been crazy, man. It's been nonstop. Your character shows up in 1978. There's 3 films. They're all out right now. What's it been like for you on your end with this? It's crazy.
It's been so much fun. Like, I'm so glad that, just getting to see them, I was just so excited to just watch. Like, ever since, filming, I was just like, I just want to see these movies, so bad. And,
Yeah.
I'm so glad to watch them, and they're so good and so amazing. I got to do ADR back in February. I got to do that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This looks amazing. And getting to see the third one, I had no idea what the third one was gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was just like this. The plane landed so nicely, and it was so honest. And just here's a Popternative exclusive. I think the third one's my favorite.
There you go.
I'm a 78er.
It's funny on the live yesterday though. McCabe and Jeremy said that too.
Yeah,
they said that too. It's funny because obviously they're on Netflix. Netflix is a global platform. So many countries have access to Netflix. Not only is the access there that they could watch it, many people from all over the world can watch the Fear Street Trilogy, but it just hits so quick. That's what I think is blowing my mind. Were you surprised of how quick it hit, especially when for you 1978 came out, and then one day after, you're probably getting messages and tagged all over the world.
Boom! I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I more people follow me than anywhere in the rest of my now. It's crazy, and it's so amazing to see that just everyone around the world loves these movies, and it's such a strong cast, and and it's written so well. It's done so everyone in the cast and crew is fantastic, and it's so nice that everyone is seeing that and being you guys are fantastic, and seeing these amazing. Yeah, because there is such a great crew of actors.
This is not your first time in a horror film.
I think I'm a horror.
This is also not your first time. Spoiler alert.
Queen.
Also, it's not spoiler alert. It's not your first time dying in a horror movie. Man, you should see. There's a thing. Cinemorgue.com or something. Have you seen that? It's a Wikipedia page that kind of outlines all the deaths in horror movies.
No,
and you have a page. And it outlines how you die because it's Halloween and Fear Street.
I want to print out my Cinemorgue page on it.
I have to. Yeah, I have to send you the link to that. I saw that.
Please.
This is a question I've been. Oh man, this is a question I've been dying to ask you. Is what I was gonna say. Okay. First question, screener question. Did your parents watch 1978?
They did.
Okay.
Oh.
So what is that? What has the conversations been with your parents with your character being decapitated?
This was nice. For 78 was nice because it was there was 2 years in between because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to him about it a lot. And I had pictures from set.
Okay.
I got this picture I posted on my Instagram of me and
so they were prepped a
holding my
little
head,
bit, yeah.
so they could see it and prepare for it.
Okay.
And actually, my mom was saying because the first thing I ever did was I played young Macduff in a community production of Macbeth when I was in 7th grade, and I died in that. Everyone dies in Macbeth, and I died. I was so excited because yes, I always wanted to die, and I didn't realize that later I would die and. So she's been watching me die since 7th grade, so she's been a little prepared.
We're gonna get back to all of that, but a project you did die in, Mare of Easttown. Obviously, yeah,
I kept
obviously.
pitching. I was like, what if I get murdered? And then
Exactly. I mean, it has to do with a murder, but your character did
I
not
should
get
email
murdered.
Brad, be like, next season, what if there's a band murder?
The band, yeah,
Local
they go
Philly
after the
bands?
band.
The districts and Japanese breakfast have to decide who in the community.
We're obviously focusing on Fear Street, but I do have to ask because that was one of my favorite shows. I loved everything about that. It was just good. What was it like working on a show like that, Drew?
I like couldn't believe
Yeah.
being on a show like that. When I auditioned, I was just like, this is like, I immediately thought, I was like, because he had some auditions, it's like, well, I'm not gonna get this. This is so cool. I can't believe I get to read for something like this, but like, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna do my best and put it out there.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for it because I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I grew
Okay.
up there, but I have a lot of family in Philadelphia. I have a lot of family
Yes.
there, and all my friends like went to college there, and I have friends who still live there. So I was just really excited about that. Of like, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool to shoot there and like get to hang out with my friends, and then like go to sit on this thing and like be a fun. And I've always wanted to play. Like I have a lot of friends in bands, and I love going to concerts and stuff. And I've always wanted to play like a person in a band in a thing. Like I love the Monkees. Do you remember?
Yeah,
the Monkees?
of course. And you're the drummer of the band. PD, I'm a drummer too. That's where PD Beats came
Yeah?
from.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that was like my stage
I
name.
I used to drum. How long have you been drumming?
Oh, like at least 15, 16 years easily. Like I started when I was like
That's
14,
fantastic.
15. So yeah, absolutely. But did you actually get to like
Yeah.
play drums in the show?
I did a little. I don't think they used the recording,
Yeah.
but they did like so there was supposed to be a concert scene. The scene where we play the
Yes,
radio
you
station.
were telling me about this, the COVID, yeah.
Yeah. It was like great. It was in the script. It was supposed to be like we play a local college. I think it was supposed to be Girard College. We're supposed to
Yeah.
play, or we filmed at Girard. I don't know. It was supposed to be Girard, but it was supposed to be like a local Philly college, and we play like a house show, and then it was like Becca gets too stoned and too drunk before the concert,
Yes.
and then we so we play the whole set, and then I think in the middle of it, she throws up on herself, and then we have to stop, and then all that, and
Wow.
it's gonna be a house and a lot of people, but then. We came back. I think it was September of
Yes.
2020. We came back to like they finished like the rest of it in like 2.5 months,
Mhm.
and then they were like they changed it to a radio station because they were like, and then it's only then it was just the four of us, and it still came across and it was still fun. but I
Fear
was
Street
like-
is like taking over the world right now, and people are expecting all these Fear Street questions. What are we talking about? The band in Mare
the
of
band,
Easttown.
baby.
Right? Isn't that
Ones and twos,
awesome?
little ones and twos.
That's literally what it is. 1978 takes place in the summer camp. You were all campers and everything. Did it feel like camp working on
It
this
did feel
movie?
like camp, actually, it
Yeah.
was cool because it was like, that was the dynamic because we had so many extras of like we had
Yeah.
so many like kids as campers on set all the time,
Yes.
and there are people like there are people whose job it is to like to like run background and keep them entertained, but usually like it's adults, so it's just kind of like, all right, you guys sit around on your phones and like do adult things, call
Absolutely.
do whatever.
Yeah.
But since it was kids, it was like, at least for me, I felt like I was like, oh, like they're spending like where were we? We're in August, so I was like, this is like part of their summer, like before they got back to school, and they're so nice to spending like their time to help us film this movie. So like we got to like me and Jackie, like we played some like games and stuff in between like set like setups and stuff, and we tried to keep them entertained. And like in that one scene where like where Michael is like getting ready for Color War and getting everyone ready. I remember like me and McCabe and everyone like going around just kind of like, hey, how's everyone doing? And like
Yeah, for sure.
doing fun handshakes and
I
stuff.
still think one of the most heartbreaking. There's a lot of heartbreaking things that happened in 1978, but I mean that little camper. I believe they say his name's Jeremy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Come
Oh
on,
my
like,
God.
come on, like McCabe, just like Tommy, like, come on, right?
And especially because there's a scene in the beginning, it's just like there's like just enough of like there's a clear history between Jeremy and McCabe.
Yeah.
Like there's just like enough where it's like, oh, they probably talked to each other before this day and have hung out and had like a night. I bet Tommy taught him how to shoot a bow and arrow. Or,
Yeah,
like,
that's
they
the thing.
knew
Talking
together.
when I interviewed McCabe, he's like, yeah, he was so cool and was so awesome, and like that
So
scene was such a focal point because like you feel so bad, and also it's interesting too because like the art of trailers, like that, like you see him in the trailer. Like, I don't know if you remember when they put the Fear Street 1978 trailer, like, you could see Jeremy quick, like, hello? Like, who's there? Like,
hello?
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
He's so good, and he's from Pen 15. I remember I was actually like kind of starstruck when I met him because I love Pen 15.
Yeah, that was
so
good.
Like, oh my gosh, this guy's like the best. I was like whispering, I was like, this is the funniest guy in Pen 15. You gotta watch it once you get home. Like, watch all of them. He's so funny on this show.
Do you find it kind of interesting when, you know, obviously, like, all three Fear Streets, we're talking about the one you were in. I mean, it's such a big cast. So when you're able to kind of, you know, stand out a little bit, like, you know, people are talking about, like, how your character got beheaded and, like, RIP your character, and there's so much support for your character online. It's pretty cool, right, that you're able to do that, especially when there's so many characters to pick from, and
there's a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's a testament to Lee and how, like, she can, like just the way it's filmed and the way it's written, it's like we get enough where it's not like there's not too much bogging down of me being like, here's my backstory and here's like why you should like me because I did this sympathetic thing, and it's like there's just enough. There's just like a nice like little like skimming. It's like a skimming stone on the lake of Fear Street. That's my metaphor I'll go with, and I'm a little skimming stone, and you're rooting for me, but then I plunk, fall in.
Is it pretty cool when people say like Fear Street is a combination of Stranger Things, Scream, Goonies, and Halloween? Isn't it kind of cool that you like were in one of those franchises as well? Like that, right? Like that's kind of cool too, right?
It's that is cool. Oh my! I can't believe I got to. That was my first job ever, and I still don't think I was in that.
Little devil. I remember that. I remember. That's funny because when I saw you in Mare of Easttown, I was like, "That's the kid in Halloween with a costume." Like I knew who you were.
I throw up and
I knew who you were, which is cool. You've gone on to work on a lot of cool projects, but a lot of different projects as well. I mean, we're talking the horror is for some reason becoming your wheelhouse.
But I love it. I love it because it's like, especially horror now is like, you can do any movie you want with the wrapping of
and it's but horror. The thing is, it's like obviously like Fear Street, and Fear Street is a perfect example of this because yes, it has like the gore and like the oh my god slasher and like the classic stuff, right?
Julia gets put in a bread cutter. Yeah, exactly. Like, everyone gets bread gets his like head get in.
And you know what? She did I saw 1994, and we did the interview because I got a screener, and it wasn't out yet. So what? And I was like, you know, it's a great film. Like, get your snacks, like, get some bread, get the bread slicer out, like, have a nice sandwich while you watch it. And, like, and then people are going back to the interview, be like, wait a minute. So, and I remember Julia just being there, like, yeah, just get some bread, get your snacks. And just...
Get a little sourdough, get a little, you know.
You have had this opportunity, though, well, actually, no. What I was gonna say about the horror is like there's different ways of scaring people now, like that don't have to be the traditional ways, right? Like there's certain things in Fear Street that your characters say to each other that's kind of like, why did he say that? Or like, what's going on here? Or why is he going in that room? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And that's scary rather than like, oh my god, right? Like people are scary.
People are scary. Yeah. People and decisions, and it's like. Because there's your rational brain where it's like, well, I know, like, if I was calm, I would make these, like, when you're watching at home, you make the rational decisions. Well, I shouldn't have gone there because this and that, and that's going to happen. But when you're in the moment, you're not thinking any of that. And it's like, well, I just want to, like from Gary's perspective, I just wanted to keep everyone safe. That's why I ran to the scary outhouse. What
did it say in the script for Gary? Because, like, I always find that interesting, and I always try to ask this. Like, when you... Because... Yeah, well, it's one of those things, right? Because you audition for something, you get it, right? I'm just curious, like, what was it kind of like, you know, camp counselor who's kind of annoying, but like there for people? Like, what was like, what was like the, like, what did they let you work with type thing? You know, like, what did they say he was all about? Like, did they give you an opportunity to, like, bring your own stuff in there as well?
They really did. Lee was the best at that. I was trying to find like if I found like if my like my start work email or something.
Yeah.
But I auditioned for Fear Street from like December of 2018. Oof. So like since then, when they started casting.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like Olivia got casted for this like 2.5 years ago. I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they casted all them first, and then they were casting like I read for. Like Olivia's shitty boyfriend who like
Peter
is in a bit Peter,
shout out to Jeremy Ford.
Jeremy Ford. Shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy's the best. Jeremy's so good in 94.
Oh
my god.
Amazing.
Oh my god. 94. Sorry, and 66. He's good in all of them, but
Yeah.
66 I was really like cream of the.
Oh,
he
yeah.
dies too fast in 94, and then 66 he gets to be really like evil.
Yeah, we talked about that, and it's just like the hospital scene too, and just like what? Like what's happening?
He's
Yeah.
a guy. And I was so confused because I think that was the first thing I read for, and I was kind of like, wait, what is this? Is this because I never read Fear Street growing up? I didn't know about Fear Street until like after I auditioned that first time. So I thought it was Goosebumps because it said R.L. Stein. I was like, is this like a Goosebumps?
It's like his other kind of
R-rated.
It's his other brainchild for a more mature audience. Yeah, absolutely. Although some of the Goosebumps that were supposed to be for like 10-year-olds are pretty insane.
I had some graphic novel Goosebumps when I was a kid that like really freaked.
Do you remember the Garden Gnomes episode? I couldn't like look at Garden Gnomes. There was a Garden Gnomes episode of Goosebumps where like the Garden Gnomes came to life at night.
They still on Netflix? All of the Goosebumps?
I think so. Yeah, but these Garden Gnomes like came to life. And we're like trashing his backyard and everything. And they were basically like the whole thing was they moved in and their neighbor was like they kept trashing the gnomes would come to life and trash his neighbor's yard. But they would think it would be the kid, so the kid was getting framed. Yeah.
More and more.
But it was scary. Like if you go back and see it, it was terrifying.
Kids, if you're watching this right now, destroy all garden gnomes. Garden gnomes are evil. Do your neighborhood a service and get them out of there.
They tried to change the narrative with Garden Gnomes with like the Romeo and Juliet and all those like animated movies.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The Travelocity gnome, like sorry, no.
They're evil. They belong in Fear Street. What's your favorite thing about being an actor and a storyteller? Is it safe to say just working with a lot of cool people, being able to kind of pretend on screen and bring kind of different characters to life? Like, is there something that you like the most about it?
I'd say all that was definitely like just
I answered your question,
every
right?
aspect I love. And then just like the big thing is like just the connecting. Like there's so much connective tissue, especially with like screen acting. Like you can, and I mean all act, and everything, but like you can like just connect with someone so into where it just feels like none of the crew's there, no one else is there, or just me. It's me and you, Peter.
Yeah.
And we're doing this right now. That's
Absolutely.
like right now. We're connecting.
Yeah.
I'm just having a nice conversation with you. And then it's like, oh, and then someone could even like, even if it's just one person who like kind of is like, oh, I connect to that. It's like, that's so powerful. It's like, we're just sending just like a nice energy out into the world.
I think it's pretty cool too. I think it's pretty cool too because this is the first time we've actually like connected. Like we've talked to set it up on Instagram.
We've done that.
But it feels like we've been. But does it not? Yeah, but does it not feel like we've known each other for a while? Like people are gonna watch this, be like, it feels like they know each other.
We do look like we went to high school together.
Absolutely, it's so true.
In the parking lot,
for sure. Drew, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man.
Thank you. And Peter, I just want to say real quick, a little BTS. Peter was so nice about moving and everything. I just moved in. I'm in Brooklyn now, and I really appreciate you moving your schedule around for
no.
This. Like,
at the end of the day, too, you're also coming on my show. You're taking time out of your schedule, so I want to make sure it works.
I'm so glad. It was a pleasure for me. This was the best.
No, absolutely. So all three Fear Street movies are on Netflix right now.
Right now.
Gary's in 1978. For a little bit. I'm sorry.
And I've been telling people at the third one, you've seen, if you're watching, you've seen Fear Street, and you love. But I was joking. I was like, it's Gary's hand at the end.
Oh man. Okay. I did the Instagram live yesterday. It's so stressful because all the comments are coming in, right? Because people are tuning in. I couldn't.
You can't read them
man,
all.
I couldn't. Like it was bad. And then Julia was like in the comments apparently, and I didn't even notice because everyone's like boom, 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 boom. And then we let her. Like she joined the room and requested, and she came in the room of us on Instagram Live, and it was just like pandemonium, and people were like saying like, who took the book, and then I didn't clue in until the end. Like I was like, oh man, like I forgot, yes, someone grabs the book. But I feel like people are just I feel
just
like
tell people Gary.
I feel like people are, man, my friends are really into Fear Street. Like someone just texted me, like they fixed it. Like, are they gonna make like an MCU universe with this? Like, cause I'd be curious to see if people come back, if they do things like they're really like making people think.
This is the HCU. This is the FSCU.
Yeah, no, it's remarkable how popular this series is, though. Like, it's crazy. Like the fans are unbelievable.
Fans are unbelievable. I'm so thankful for everyone appreciating this great like piece. Like I'm so like Lee is the coolest.
Your Instagram is rocking these days.
Thank you. It's been crazy. It's been wild. I was not expecting anything like that.
And where can people follow you on Instagram? What's your handle?
My handle, I'm at Drew Scheid, Scheid on all the things.
Perfect.
Whichever things I have. I think and really Instagram, unless you want to see me tweet about the Sixers, and that's all I use Twitter for.
Absolutely.
I have to come on because I know you do sports, so whenever the basketball season starts,
absolutely.
Love to talk some preseason.
Oh, 100%. It's a nice jersey, by the way, too.
I know. I love
Olympics,
that. Real
right?
quick, I kind of love that USA basketball has been losing. I am rooting
I saw
for
that
them
today.
to lose.
Yeah, but I feel like, but here's the thing too. A little bit of basketball content before we go. I think people love the idea of beating the dream team, so they just kind of right.
I saw some tweet that was like, it's like USA still thinks that they're the dream team, where they're just going to these like they're going to Argentina, they're playing Argentina, they're playing Ukraine, and they think like, oh, they don't have developed basketball players. It's like the rest of the world is kind of caught up.
Yeah,
like,
they're trying to. It's the same. It's the same in hockey too. Like obviously, like hockey, like Canada. Like I'm in Canada, USA, Russia, Sweden. They're all the powerhouses. They've been powerhouses for a while. But then there's like Germany and Switzerland and these countries like kind of giving like a run for the money, which is amazing. But yeah, no, I feel like everyone wants to kind of work hard so they can beat USA. Like I think it's a thing. Soccer too, like the U.S. women's soccer team.
Yep.
They just lost.
Everyone's like dominant again. They did?
The first game they lost. Sweden beat them 3-0.
Whoa.
So we're gonna say, dude, skateboarding is now in Olympics, and I watched that yesterday. And I feel like the drummer from Mare of Easttown is definitely like a skateboarder or loves skateboarding for sure. Anyway, we can go on and on and on. I wanted to thank you so much for your time, man. Seriously.
Thank you, Peter.
Absolutely. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, it's Drew Scheid and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.